It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and it's about time really that Foster's came out with something slightly different. You don't really see Foster's as you probably did so much. The kind of early 2000s, Foster's was everywhere. You'd see a lot of television adverts about it. You would see it on the pumps in most big pub chains, but it's almost like the brand has not been forgotten about, but kind of moved on a little bit in terms of like what people want to drink. So we're seeing more advertisements these days for continental lagers, like your Madries, your Birra Morettis. They seem to have taken the place of Foster's lager. Remember Foster's Ice? That was huge back in the day. Anyway, brand new product then from Foster's or Heineken, who own Foster's, and I think this could be quite a clever release, you know. I think this has really been thought about. We're heading into the summer months, and they brought out into Tesco a 3% Shandy, and they've called it proper Shandy. No nonsense refreshments. They got Melbourne written across the front. We'll talk about all of this in a moment, because there's some quite clever wording on the back of this can. So the 4 cans of this Shandy cost me in the region of £3 in Tesco. You might be able to pick it up on a club card deal. I've got a Hop House 13 lager glass that we're going to be using for this. Without further ado then, let's get this out into a glass and see what we get. 440 milliliter can. I'm hoping for a bit of haze. I am hoping for a little bit of haze. Now, where do I think this idea has come from to bring out a Shandy? Well, I think there's 2 reasons behind this. I think with the taxation in the UK beer market at the moment, they're taxing higher ABV products. So I think that they brought out this product just to get away with a bit of kind of cheaper tax, not to be taxed too high. The other reason is I think that they might be looking at what Lidl are doing. Now, Lidl, 3 or 4 times a year, bring out a lemon radler. And it's about 2.5% ABV. I love it. I'll buy 8 cans of that stuff in the summer and really enjoy it. And I think if you're a company like Heineken, you've got your eyeballs everywhere to be seeing what is going on in the beer world. And of course, if Lidl are selling an awful lot of their radler, then why not bring out your own Shandy then? So, Shandy in the glass. Is there a haze there? You know, I think there is a little bit of a haze there, and I'm quite happy that they've decided to go with a little bit of a haze, because if you're a fan of lemon radler, then bang, yeah, you're going to be kind of like looking at this German style beer, radler style beer, and you want it to be a little bit hazy. Good carbonation. Maybe they're looking at cloudy lemonade also. 3-finger white head, slightly it's a light amber colour with a little bit of haze, lots of carbonation. Let's get the aroma on the Shandy beer then. Yeah, that smells really good. It smells really good. I'm a kind of bit of a fickle for a nice radler, a nice Shandy. If this tastes good, then shock horror, this could be in my fridge all summer long. Just something nice and refreshing to kick things off. Loads and loads of lemon then. With that kind of Foster's base beer in the background. It smells okay. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, yeah, I like that. Each to their own. You might be thinking I'd be kind of standing here giving this a right old slating, but each to their own. I definitely think there is a place for this. This could be a bit of a kind of a masterstroke by Heineken here, releasing this Foster's Shandy. I believe there's a massive gap in the market here, because although I buy a lot of Lidl's Perlenbacher Radler, Lidl's effective alcoholic shandy, there's not that many people that kind of know about it. Not many people in the world know about it, but you can imagine the amount of people who kind of know and understand Foster's, and they know and understand shandy. Yes, you probably could say you could empty a can of 440ml Foster's into a pint glass and top it up with a bit of lemonade. Yeah, you could probably do that, and most people probably do. But to have it mixed in a can ready for you, grab it straight out the fridge, no hassle, back garden, a couple of kind of shandies while the barbecue's on. See, now I would prefer this route, this lower ABV route, than all your low or non-alcoholic beers. I've had one or two okay-ish non-alcoholic beers. I've had one or two low ABV beers which I thought, they're all right. But I think if you're really going to smash it, if you're really going to want to bring out a low alcoholic beer, then just bring out something like this, like a shandy. This really works for me. Lots of lemon flavour coming through, and when that peels back, when that kind of lemon flavour kind of dissipates on your palate, you're left with this light, grainy, slight biscuity flavour on the shandy. And I tell you, black fridge down there, open door, French doors onto the garden in the summertime, 12 o'clock on a Sunday. I could quite happily with some music on, sit there in the sunshine and drink 4 cans of this. Absolutely no problem at all. It's just something quite nice. It's just something quite interesting, and there's a massive gap in the market, as I mentioned. There is something I do want to talk about though. I talked about it earlier on. Melbourne. Now every brewing company seems to be doing this at the moment. Everybody knows that Foster's really wasn't out of Melbourne, Australia. Everybody kind of knows that Foster's is a UK brand, but they've gone further here. They've gone further, Heineken. They've said, brewed in Europe by Heineken UK. Now, but then they've got an Edinburgh address, and they've got an Amsterdam, Netherlands address. So, kind of, is it UK brewed? Because the UK's in Europe, and I think this is something quite interesting here, because I think there's a trend now for looking at kind of these beer Morettis and these Madries that are not brewed, that are not European beers. They're not from Italy or Spain. They're brewed in the UK. But of course, there's a way around that. By saying brewed in Europe, of course, UK's in Europe. So expect to see in the future by these companies the removal of brewed in the UK, and expect to see a lot more brewed in Europe. Because that's their way, that's their big ticket out of it, from saying this is not you know, having to put brewed in the UK on the back of the can. Expect to see something a little bit different from these breweries as a bit of a scapegoat to say, hey, maybe it is brewed in Italy or Spain. It's probably brewed in the UK. So I'm going to rate this. I seen it. I thought it gave me a little bit of a giggle when I picked it up. But then I thought to myself, oh, no. I mean, come on, give it a good shot, because Pearl and Backer have got their Radler, and that's okay. And I have thoroughly enjoyed this Shandy. That's going to be in my fridge all summer. Surprise, surprise. Giving a Foster's Shandy a 9 out of 10. I like that. 9 out of 10. I think it's innovative. The big companies are being pushed by central government to get people to drink lower ABV beers. We've already had Guinness Zero, haven't we? All of the dry January stuff recently. I think this is a better way to approach it. I think it's clever, it's interesting, it's a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for me from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom, cheers.